Hello, hello. Check, check. Sound check. It looks like it's working. I'm just trying to get this cool bracelet on if I can. How are you guys? It feels it's been too long. I haven't done a video since Friday. And you know how much I miss you when I don't. Um, I don't have a whole lot of time today. I do have a volleyball game that I need to get to, but I probably have like almost up to an hour maybe. Um, I really want to talk with you guys about that post that Marjorie Taylor Greene put up where she was trying to make it explicitly clear that she's not in a mindset where she would do anything to hurt herself. Like, is that pretty wild? Brought my pen. I think I have another one handy. Yes, I do. Good. So I don't have to try to dive down for it in the corner with all the chakra tower complications. Anyway, let me get going with you guys. I might have a puppy dog knocking at the door. I got Coco right here. I kind of tried to rearrange so that when the dogs are on the dog bed, you can see them more better. So it's not just me you're looking at if you are watching. I know a lot of people are just listening, kind of like a podcast. So we'll just call it that, right? Please hit your like button. It helps the algorithm, and my algorithm needs help. Please make sure you're still subscribed if you are subscribed. And if you're not, consider just doing it. There's no commitment, doesn't cost you anything, doesn't track you. If you want notifications, turn on your notification bell to ring so you know when I come on live or drop a video or post something, and share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like my channel. So yeah, over the weekend, oh my goodness, there was like two tragic events yesterday. One in Michigan at a Church of Latter-day Saints. Awful. You probably saw on the news, man, the fire. The church was huge and the fire was huge. It pretty much engulfed the entire thing. I tried asking my husband, since he's a firefighter, like how could that happen? How could it have burned up so quickly? And I guess sometimes fire just travels fast, but also it sounded like maybe the man had put devices in different places in the church. Anna Bees, yay! Thank you, dear, for saying hi. I just popped your stickers in the mail today. Happy to report. How are you? And let me see. Did you mean to be members only earlier? You know what? I did. I recorded it, not members only, but I was then going to take it down because it was just kind of like not working out. There were several things like I had to get up to let the dogs in and out. I had the bad hair. I had to grab my hat. With the stuff being rearranged, I was like at a weird angle. So I, rather than deleting it, I just changed it to members only so people that want to can watch it. But there was nothing in that video. It's not worth it. So yeah, that's what I did. Thank you for noticing. And then, so yeah, the things I did talk about in that video, I'm going to talk about in this video so that the things that I covered. So some of the things I want to cover today, most importantly, in the thumbnail, I have a screenshot of the Romanian Angels insignia that Erica Kirk used with the company that she owned, the Romanian Angels nonprofit she owned when she was 17. Give me an effing break. So she was in Romania in conjunction with the United States military, and now the rumor is she's been banned from Romania because all these kids were disappearing. I don't know, but I thought that the insignia was really creepy. Like, it's supposed to be angel wings, but it's like a Rorschach. It looks more like demon horns to me. And then on the other side of her, I have a screenshot of guess what it is, Anna Bees? It's Kylie Rodney's bull with horns sticker that seemed like Scammy might have put on her car. And I don't know. I don't know if that's like a symbol for Titanic stuff. It kind of seems like it could be. Oh, I see. Yeah. I heard about that terrible fire. Yeah, the fire up in Michigan. Awful. You know, I was just in Michigan last weekend, but I was far away from where the fire happened. And then there was like a mass shooting yesterday also in South Carolina or North Carolina, I think at a bar or something. It's hard to keep up. And I am convinced in my humble conspiracy theory, allegedly, that this is all chaos agents. Maybe not all, but a lot of chaos agents working for the purpose of trying to say, oh, look at all this crime going on. Let's do the whole martial law thing. Let me do my disclaimer. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All my videos are made for YouTube. It's an infotainment platform. So let's see if that'll work well. Yeah, I think they put an air tag on Kylie's car. Oh, wow. I think that's a really good theory, Anna Bees. I don't know if I've ever heard that theory. But I always wondered what was up with that sticker of the bull with the horns. You mean like a ram, Scammy? Are you brain dead? Yes, she is. Happens to any of us, right? Weird that to me it sure it could just be a synchronicity or coincidence that the window sticker that Scammy spoke about on Kylie's car that nobody else spoke about. So it was like, did she put it there? Did it have the air tag in it? I don't know how air tags work. I don't know if they're bigger than, not that flat. But yeah, with Erica Kurtz's company that she owned back when she was Erica Franzk. I just thought that was so creepy. Like it didn't even look like angel wings to me. Like I know that that's what it's supposed to look like, but it almost looked. Can you look at it, Anna, and tell me if I'm crazy? It almost looked like, and forgive me, spread open legs. That's what it looked like to me. It seemed to me that they were trying to pretend that it was supposed to be angel wings, but it looks to me like spread open. Yeah, everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All my videos are made for YouTube, and it's an infotainment platform. And I am trying to pull it up to see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. That angel that looks demonic. It looks demonic. Okay, so we have this meeting coming up tomorrow. All of the military leaders that Keg's Breath is ordering to abandon their posts and show up in Quantico tomorrow, which tomorrow is also supposed to be the day of the shutdown for our government. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. Can you? Yeah, you can't really see it. But I'm going to stand by my assertion that that image, I'll see if I can screenshot it and show it to you this way. It's the strangest looking wings. It doesn't look like wings. It really doesn't. Okay, I'm going to try to show it. Does that look like angel wings to you? First of all, why so much black? And second of all, It's gross. It's really gross. I'm sorry, trigger warning, but it looks to me like somebody spread eagle. And it also kind of looks like horns of some demonic nature. You can get a good look at that, right? So it's the picture that I used for my thumbnail. At the top, it says RA, which supposedly stands for Romanian angels. But why would they do white wings that with all that black? That doesn't make sense. Like when you're doing like angel wings, don't you do them all white? Ew, I'm getting grossed out. I need to put it down and see what Anna's saying. Yeah, I think they put an air tag. Okay, right. That's what I think. It was under the sticker. Oh, okay. So in that movie, Snake Eyes, have you seen it, Anna Bees? Did you happen to get a chance to try to watch it over the weekend? That Nicolas Cage movie from 1998 that has like a dozen synchronicities with Charlie Kirk's assassination. And at one point towards the end of the movie, the character that Gary Sinise plays puts like an air tag on Nicolas Cage's back so that he can track him to where he's going to try to find the person that Nicolas Cage is hiding. And yeah, it's just ridiculous how many synchronicities there are in that movie with Charlie Kirk's assassination. I mean, it's about an assassination. It's Charles Kirkland is the name of the Department of Defense, the Secretary of Defense, who gets assassinated at this boxing match that's supposedly in the movie. It's scheduled for September 19th. A lot of people say it's scheduled for September 10th because if you're looking at the marquee when they show it towards the beginning of the movie, it's just not high quality resolution, and the 9 looks like it could be a 0. And I think people kind of took that and ran with it, and probably a lot of people that haven't even tried to examine the image. But I think that in the movie it's the 19th, but still it's September, and it starts with a 1. And it's 2 digits, right? Okay. Anyway, I tried looking for it but couldn't find it, but I see your screenshot and I agree with you. Oh, yeah. Let's see what else you say. I saw that movie years ago when it came out, but I don't remember it. So the similarities are many. One of the weird things is that it's actually filmed in Trump Taj Mahal, or shall we say Tenacious D Taj Mahal. And there's a hurricane coming through town that I think is like called Jezebel. And then there's that whole thing that Megyn Kelly and a bunch of people went crazy with, that some witches online bought some curses. They put a curse on Charlie through I think an Etsy company that's called Jezebel, or maybe it's the group that bought the curses called Jezebel. Anyway, there's that connection. The woman in the movie that Nicolas Cage is hiding, that is witness to the assassination, is wearing all white with a blonde wig. And, Erica was wearing all white. Scammy was wearing all white. Wearing all white is a CLUT ascension ceremonial thing. That doesn't mean, obviously, it doesn't mean every single time people wear all white that that's what they're doing. I mean, typically in our culture, wedding dresses are white. Not a lot else is, like babies' baptismal clothes are white. But it's something that you can look up and you can just see it with the naked eye, like just a lot of people wearing all white. Again, Scammy in the Kylie Rodney case was wearing a very short mini dress that was all white, very inappropriate to Kylie's celebration of life. And Erica was wearing the all white pantsuit, looked designer like Armani or something, to her husband's memorial service where they had the pyrotechnics going off for her grand entrance to the stage. And, you know, her pantsuit, I wouldn't say there's anything peculiar about it, except if you think about the whole thing with the all white, it is, it's a head scratcher. That's all. You know, this channel that I mentioned in my last video, Didi Got a Podcast. I watched a live of his last night where he had these people on his panel that were really attacking him for all the connections that he was outlining from the movie Snake Eyes and Charlie Kirk's assassination. And, you know, he talked about predictive programming, something I'm not that familiar with. So I was looking it up. And yeah, it's been done where obviously people have made movies that seemed to be predicting something that happened in the future, but you have to get into that argument of, is life imitating art? Is art imitating life? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which reminds me about your chicken coop. I got my little chicken coop right there. So I'm going to get you your chicken coop in the mail. Da, 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 da. I'll show it again. And I'll be giving some of these away in the upcoming videos, probably this week. I'll probably do like one a week. Just adorable little tiny chicken coops with little tiny stairs. But you're going to have to buy your own chickens. And then you can get your own eggs. And that'll help with the price of groceries, right? Let's see if I can get it up there without knocking things down. Groceries. So anyway, you know how I am. I like to do random funny things like that. Yeah. I'd say watch the movie again, Anna Bees, if you're interested. I had not seen it before. Oh, I'm so glad that you love it. Yeah. I'm getting it wrapped up currently so that it won't get crushed in the mail. And I wanted to get the stickers out. I had waited on the stickers because I was going to try to send it all together, but then I thought, no, just get the stickers in the mail and then work on the little chicken coop. And then, like I said, I'll give away some other chicken coops this week to add some fun to the whole thing. And like today, I'll give away another chicken coop and you can win it too, Anna, and then I'd send you two. Whoever the first person to comment after the live can win another chicken coop. I have about a dozen of them. They were just too cute. I had to like purchase a whole bunch. They were on sale at Menards, at Fred's store. So one of the things I want to talk about with the Charlie Kirk conspiracies, and people have really gone off the deep end with it, but I absolutely think that the whole thing with the $150 million that who was it? I'm not sure if it's Bill Ackman or Bill Ackerman was allegedly the person who met with Charlie Kirk in the Hamptons a few weeks prior to his assassination, who offered him the $150 million if he were to commit to saying everything that they wanted him to say about being supportive of Israel. And he said, no, thank you. And the thing is when you are made an offer that you can't refuse, you can't refuse it. That's why it's called an offer that you can't refuse. It's not just because you wouldn't want to refuse it. It's because you're not allowed to. So, you know, just like when the mobsters walk into your business and say, you know, this is a really nice business you got. be a shame if something happened to it and you need to pay us some protection money. That's not optional. I mean, in my mind, it's not optional. Some people will say, well, you can't give them money because if you do, you're just encouraging them and they're going to mess with you. But if you don't, they're going to mess with you too. So I say the best thing to do is to just not open a business in an area like that that's run by the mob. But I guess at this point in time, that would mean like don't open a business anywhere in the country because our government is the mob. I think that the regime took him out, mainly a distraction from the e-files and to further their cult by making him a martyr. Anna Bees, you are so sharp. You seriously should have your own YouTube channel, but I will gladly host you here on my live in my chat. You just said it all so simply. Yeah, it was a three-pronged motive for them. They needed to silence him. They needed the distraction from the Trumpstein files, and they needed to make him a martyr and to try to instigate their fantasy civil war that, I was afraid that they were going to get more traction with that over the weekend with deploying the military to Portland. But it seems like that's gone sideways and that Trump, Tenacious D has already tacoed. So, yeah. I think that they took him out because he was pushing for the e-files and because they needed a distraction from the e-files. So there's that representative from Arizona that just got voted in like last week, a female. I have her name written down in here. Let's see if I can find it. And she is supposed to get sworn in tomorrow. Here it is. Adelita Grijalva, I think. It was a special election. And once she's sworn in, I think that would mean that if she votes the way they'd assume she would vote, that they would have enough votes to subpoena the Trumpstein files. And so Magic Mike Johnson is doing everything in his power to delay swearing her in. And then the government shutdown is supposed to start tomorrow, isn't it? Or is that supposed to start on October 1st, which would be the day after tomorrow? But yeah, it's like a full-blown panic, it's a bunch of crazy, a whole lot of crazy. Yes, the Arizona representative, yay. Well, and yay for Marjorie Taylor Greene for standing up for victims and victims' rights, and all the other Republicans that are going against the grain. I think Lauren Boebert and maybe Nancy Mace, one of them might have tacoed. And then there's at least one or two of the male senators or Republican House of Representative folks that are also trying to stand up for the victims and for victims' rights and for justice. And, they're getting threatened. So it doesn't do anybody any good to allow that. I mean, the whole thing with the bullies and with the mafia, it's like they own you. If you play their game, they own you. So it's a tough predicament to be in. I feel we're in a dystopian timeline. I hope not. I know it is a very high risk situation. I feel like it all revolves around Tenacious D and his inability to suffer the consequences of his actions being that he's named in the Epstein files, Trumpstein files. And, we don't know how he is mentioned in there. A lot of people say, well, he's not trying to protect himself. He's trying to protect his colleagues, his associates. And it's like bull crap. If it wasn't him, he wouldn't be panicked like this. He doesn't care about anybody else. I mean, he can flip on a dime. He flips on everyone. So yeah, I think that it's a very dangerous time and it's a high risk time, but I don't think that the dark evil is going to win the battle. I just don't. Right? He's only cares about himself. Even the comments that you've probably heard him make, that he's made about how, what? You're still talking about this guy? He died years ago. Or, well, this happened so long ago, it was the 90s. People did crazy things in the 90s in Florida, Palm Beach. It was a different time back then. Why do people still care? Why do they keep bringing it up? And it's like he is so narcissistic. He's lacks empathy to such an extreme. He doesn't understand that statutory is statutory. There's no such thing as consent if someone is underage. Absolutely no such thing. So that's an assault. And the way that an assault affects a person is profound, absolutely profound. And he just cannot get it through his head that these people are hurt, they're suffering, and they need justice. So it's unbelievable how unable he is to step outside of himself. He just keeps thinking if he blows up the world, people will get distracted and forget about the freaking Trumpstein files. And they're not going to. And it seems like he is blowing up the world, and he will continue to do so, in my opinion, until he's forced to stop. And I don't know if it's only like the Republicans that can make him stop, since they're in the seats of power in both the Senate and the House. I don't know. But I think that there's enough other people that are implicated too. And if they're not implicated in the Trumpstein files, they're implicated other places where their dirty laundry could be aired and they could be outed. So, they're all keeping each other's secrets for each other and for money. It's all about the money. I think BB is meeting with Tenacious D tomorrow in the Oval Office. Is that accurate? Do you know? Let me see if artificial intelligence knows. Let's see what AI has to say. Is Netanyahu meeting with Trump in Washington, D.C. tomorrow? Well, let's see. Is it today or is it tomorrow? Let's see. PBS says Tenacious D and BB say they've agreed to a plan to end Gaza war and await Hamas to accept terms. They said Monday they've agreed on a plan to end the war in Gaza, but it's unclear whether Hamas will accept the terms. I just read that in the headline, but it's also in the article. Tenacious D on Monday laid out a 20-point plan for ending the Israel-Hamas war and establishing a post-war governance in the war-battered Palestinian territory. Tenacious D's plan would establish a temporary governing board that would be headed by Tenacious D and include former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. But are they meeting today or tomorrow? We're not quite finished, it says. Maybe it was today. Maybe today is tomorrow. Kind of sounds like that they might have already met today. When was this article written? What? It was just written 13 minutes ago? 12? No, 8 minutes ago. It says 3:46. Well, 9 minutes ago now. Okay, so it was just written. All right. Updated. Anyway, it was written this morning. So they met today. It already happened. I haven't been watching a lot of news yet today. I've been busy. No, people always cared about children getting violated. I know. And sadly, I think a lot of people don't care about children, I think just all of the school shootings are a testament to that. Children are precious. Children are our future. And there's just nothing more precious than our children. And not just our children in general. I mean, they're magical little creatures, aren't they? Little T is going to the military meeting. Oh, right, tomorrow. You're right. Thank you, Annabise. The silly Quantico meeting that Keg's Breath has put together so that everybody can be in one area at one time and then announcing it to the world for all of our country's enemies to be able to plan around, right? Ad is freezing up and I might have to come back in. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thanks for letting me know. Stupid ads. I know. I try to not have ads, but I do get a tiny little sliver of a paycheck from the YouTube once in a rare while, so I go ahead and have them. But I do apologize. Sorry, I had to come in. Oh, you're good. Thanks for saying so. So it seems that we have a nice little group of people in here, but no one else that is able to or that wants to comment. So I appreciate everybody watching, whether you're on the replay crew or you're here right now. And I appreciate the comments to keep a conversation going, because I haven't been doing my videos daily. This is one reason why I don't like to skip the weekends, is because I feel like I get rusty and I just got to do it every day to stay in the habit of talking to the screen. And it's 4:00. It's Monday. It's the 29th of September. I do have a volleyball game that I need to get ready to go to shortly. But let me make sure that I touch on the issues that I feel like are the most pressing. And because I did that little 20-minute live earlier, I think they were the things that I said in that video that I haven't yet said in this one. The thing about Tenacious D admitting not only that he knew who Virginia Giuffre was, but that he knew what had happened to her within like 24 or 48 hours of it happening to her, when she was Epsteined in April, like a day before Melania's birthday. And they being Donnie and Melania, went to the Pope's funeral on her 55th birthday. And when he was on the tarmac getting ready to board the airplane, a reporter asked him if he had any thoughts about Virginia Giuffre. And he was like, oh, it's really sad what happened to her. And, people like her. It's awful. I mean, it's nice that he acknowledged how sad it is. It's nice that he acknowledged her, but it's odd that he admitted that he knew who she was, that he didn't say who. And it's really odd that news, that he'd been informed of that news. Like, to me, that's very, very telling. I really think that the scene earlier this month on the steps of the Capitol with all the victims speaking out after Congress came back from their long vacation, I can't imagine how powerful Virginia would have been speaking at an event like that with all of these other people speaking out too. It was a very, very powerful event, but she was kind of like the mouthpiece and the spokesperson and the forerunner for fighting for justice for that whole situation. I mean, she was largely responsible for getting Jizz put in prison. She got a multi-million-dollar settlement from the royal family. I'm not sure how much she had to do with little E's first arrest or his second arrest, but she probably had something to do with it. She had some active lawsuits, and I think she had a defamatory lawsuit from disgusting Alan Dershowitz, who she said had transported her, that she was transported to him, and that he sued her, and she then said that she may have mistaken him for someone else. Remember that? She'd also made allegations against Tenacious D doing the same thing to her. A handful of victims have accused Tenacious D of being transported to Tenacious D, and they've all withdrawn their statements. And how is it that she phrased it? Was that the one where she said, every time she speaks of it, she says, I don't remember ever seeing him there. I don't know if she said she must have mistaken Trump stir fire for someone else too, but I know that's the phrase she used to back out of the allegations that she made against Alan Dershowitz. Tenacious D has paid out millions of dollars to families for allegations that they and their children made against him. And when he pays out that money, of course, he has them sign the non-disclosure agreements. The Epstein estate has paid out over $100 million to victims, and all of them have had to sign the non-disclosure agreements. I mean, that's pretty typical. That's just how it's done. So, yeah, then you get into that whole thing with the Jane Doe, Katie Johnson, the one who says that she was 13 when she was assaulted by both of them more than once. Fred, hello, how are you? Did you or YouTube delete my comment about my brother-in-law? Just wondering. No, I don't think I saw it. Oh, so YouTube might have deleted it. What was it? Can you say it again in different words? It must have been YouTube. That's weird. Unless if I have another mod watching that thought that it was inappropriate. But yeah, if you can try to say it again, I'm so curious. What happened with your brother-in-law? Hola, Fred. I thought maybe ICE deported you. You're so cute. Well, yeah, I wasn't on for the whole weekend because one of my kids came and hung out at the house. So she lives like an hour away, and we didn't really know she was coming. And it's always nice to see her. And, since I work from home, it's hard to work when there's guests in the house and I want to hang out with them. So, yeah, Anna Bees, I'm really curious what your comment was and how long ago you made it and why it got deleted. Because, yeah, I've been reading your comments pretty much as you write them. So I don't remember seeing it. I wonder. So that Virginia attorney that was Epstein, in my opinion, so remember in my last video on Friday, I was talking about Jessica Aber, the Eastern Virginia federal U.S. top attorney who resigned around the time of the inauguration. And then 2 months later, she was found on a Saturday morning unalive in her own bed. And they said it was like natural causes. Apparently, it was a self-inflicted, is what they're saying now. So I'm so suspicious. That's the same position that this little pageant winner, Lindsay Halligan, has just been appointed to. So Jessica Aber had already resigned from that position, but she knew a lot. So her specialties were like cyber crimes, financial fraud, transporting humans, and gang activity, Russian gangs especially, and the whole thing with like that M16. So she was 43 years old. I don't buy that she did that to herself. But also, I had never seen or heard anything about self-inflicted. I had only seen and heard about natural causes until just this weekend, looking it up again and again. Craziness. Absolutely craziness. I just said I might press charges on my brother-in-law for inappropriate behavior with a minor in the state of Indiana. There's no statute of limitations. Oh, Anna Bees, I am so sorry that you experienced that. And I can't believe that it was taken down. Wow. That's really powerful. That is really powerful. That you've had to live with that happened. And I would imagine that would be a real mixed bag of a roller coaster ride to press charges. I would fully support you in moving forward with pressing charges, and I would fully support you not pressing charges, because that's a tough crossroads. It's sort of like there's going to be pros and cons either way. And so I guess you just have to weigh it out and see where you're at right now, what's best for you. That is crazy. Angry at him for taking over our cremains monument behind our parents' graves. Yeah, I remember you mentioning about that. That is so harsh. That is such hard stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're putting it out there like you're thinking about doing it. I think maybe consulting with an attorney, maybe consulting with a therapist. I don't know if you've had therapy. I think you have said that you have, but therapists can be subpoenaed to testify in the case too, so they could be a witness for you, even if you've never had a therapist. I was a witness for a client once who had only come in to talk to me one time, and it was her uncle that assaulted her. And she probably came in to talk to me the one time, maybe like a month before his trial, and I was subpoenaed to testify. And it was only the one time that I saw her. So, one of the questions that one of the jurors asked me was, because the judge allowed them to like write notes on paper and submit the notes to me. Questions. One of them was like, how did you know she wasn't lying, since you didn't really know her? And I just gave an honest answer. It's like, I had no indications that she was lying, and I wouldn't think that somebody would lie about something like that, but I can't really guarantee that she's telling the truth. I mean, that's what she told me. But she did win the case, and he did get put in jail. So, and that was just with one visit with one therapist. Because there weren't a lot of witnesses testifying for her. I mean, her family could have been witnesses, but it was like tearing the family apart, and they were angry at her. So you have to fight fire with fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. You've had yes, I've had therapy, but I didn't ever talk about it. I don't remember talking about it. Well, and yeah, I'm just recommending to talk about it, both so that you could get support through the process, and so that you could have someone to testify if necessary. But maybe he would do a plea agreement or something like that too. You're okay now. I'm so glad, my dear. It's just evil, 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 evil. That's what's so gross about our dear leader, Tenacious D, is that he doesn't understand how vile, how putrid and disgusting and hurtful and dangerous what Jeffrey did. He doesn't understand the impact that has, and what he may have done allegedly. And to have somebody like that in a position of leadership is so scary. I mean, it is just like a precursor to going back to the Stone Ages, or to like the Handmaid's Tale. Like, just the lack of compassion, the lack of caring, the lack of insight. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, so many men think that it's the most vile, disgusting thing a man could do, to take advantage of a child. He thinks boys will be boys. Yeah, doesn't that phrase make you want to vomit? Absolutely make you want to vomit. Yeah, locker room talk. But the fact that he didn't try to brush this whole birthday card thing off with that locker room talk just blows my mind. That, he's so rattled by it that he's just kind of come unglued, and he keeps telling on himself. Yeah, exactly. Everybody did it. It was the 90s. It was just a wild time back then. He keeps telling on himself, like saying that. Like that's an admission right there, isn't it? He's just lost his mind. Absolutely lost his mind. So it's going to be an interesting week in the news of the Trumpster fire, the Tenacious D. Escalator Gate is over. I would just love it if it turned out that he had bumped the off switch himself. Fred says half day work today. Is that what you're talking about? Um, but that whole thing with the escalator too, I wanted to mention, you guys probably noticed in the videotape footage of it that the escalator next to him was not only working, it was also going up and it was also empty. So they could have just stepped aside and gotten on the other escalator. But Melania kind of took the lead and just kept going up the stairs without even missing a beat. I mean, it was only like 12 or 15 stairs. It was a very short escalator ride. So she didn't think twice. It certainly seemed like he was thinking twice. And I don't think anybody would have held it against him had he just walked over to the other escalator, which would have been a good test, too, of his theory of sabotage, because then if the other one went out as soon as he touched it, that would support his theory, huh? See messed up comment before half day. Ola, I thought maybe ICE deported you. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking that maybe you had a comment that didn't get shown either, Fred, because that's the only one I see is the one about ICE deporting me. Interesting. Is somebody deleting my chatter's comments? I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm sorry that I'm just kind of not so with it. I guess I need more caffeine, huh? I want to talk a little bit more about the ram horn window decal that Kylie allegedly had on her car, and how the similarity of it striking me, the similarity of it to the symbol that Erica Fransk used for her Romanian Angels nonprofit. Could there be a correlation, a connection with the transporting? Remember Kimberly Westerfall that had a nonprofit transporting company for survivors of transporting, human transporting. And didn't that had to do with Russia, I think. And then she had one of her facilities, I think, was in Georgia. And I never had it confirmed if that was the same Kimberly Westerfall. She was the same age as Jägermeistro's mother. I found that so interesting, that whole thing. I'm trying to remember if there was a name for that. I think that there was. Let me see if AI knows. So one of my mods just texted me a couple of minutes ago. Let me read this to you. Tulsi Gabbard press conference. I think I'm watching it live. It sounds like they're arresting Obama, or maybe it's about rigged election right now, Putin election interference, integrity. But it's actually, yeah, Obama bad. I don't know what they're watching. Should I go over to YouTube and check it out for a minute? Crazy. I was going to see about Kimberly Westerfall. Kimberly Westerfall, nonprofit organization for survivors of human trafficking in Georgia. I'll have to look more into this later. Uncaged. That was the name of it. Yay, I found it. So yeah, just with Kimberly Westfall nonprofit organization for survivors of human trafficking in Georgia. It came right up. Leadershipuncaged.org. And then a second article, Kim Westfall featured on Unforgettable Conversations. But isn't that the same Westfall?
I'd like to introduce our first ministry.
Isn't that the same name? Last name is Jägermeister. Jagger Westfall, Kylie Rodney. So yeah, that is the same last name. Uncaged. What a terrible image, the using the cage term in that. How weird. It seems like YouTube is freaking out. I've been wondering if I've got to text my mod back. I'm going to say, what are you watching? And it might not be real. Interesting. We're being censored. Well, yeah, I think that artificial intelligence and the bots, I think, are working overtime. And I think that the Trumpster fire is having bricks come out of his rear end, and that he's just, it would make sense for him to try to like shut down social media at the same time he's trying to shut down all this stuff with the e-files, wouldn't it? Because if those e-files hit the radio waves, man, it is over. It is over. Dexter home from half-day doggy daycare, exhausted. They say he had fun and enjoyed 4 paws in kiddie pool. Oh, how adorable. That's awesome. You are spoiling that dog. That's so awesome. So yeah, Uncaged. And so Romania Angels is the company, the LLC that Erica Fransk had set up when she was a teenager. She was 17. So she allegedly had millions of dollars from that nonprofit. I don't know how that works. I would argue that she was a laundering front for somebody who may have owned a modeling agency and a pageantry, somebody that she may have been a modeling and casting director for in New York City, because we know that she was a modeling and casting director in New York City at the same time that she owned the Romanian Angels nonprofit, and that she was a millionaire, allegedly, like before she was 19, I think. I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. So there is a music video that she was in about 13 years ago. There's a lot of miscellaneous videos that keep coming into my feed from when she won her Miss Arizona title in 2012. So after she won that title, she did a video in Vegas, and the Trump Tower just happens to be in the video. And in the video, she marries the guy at a drive-through Elvis thing. Oh, before I wrap up, Anna Bees and Fred, if you both are still here, did you know? I did not know this. Allegedly, Elvis hadn't taken a dump in like 4 months when he passed away. So he passed away on the toilet having a heart attack when he was 42 in like 1976 or 78, whenever it happened. I always thought he was in the bathtub. I did not know he was actually on the toilet. And I did not know about the impacted bowel, allegedly. That is insane. But that would make sense too with all of his drug abuse and all of his weight gain, you know? I mean, so the rumor on the internet is that it was like 30 or 40 pounds of crap. It gives like the being full of crap a whole new meaning, doesn't it? But I do need to wrap up, you guys. So on that, I was going to say that laundering. Yeah, absolutely. The money cleansing. And just what a weird, even if her little symbol of the angel wings has nothing to do with the ram horns on Kylie's vehicle, even if there's no connection there, those are the creepiest looking angel wings I've ever seen. I'm going to wrap it up. All right. Love and light, you guys. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Hopefully every day this week. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Have a great day.